Hi everyone, welcome to 3 Questions with an SSO Musician. I'm Jasmine and I'm here with John, who is a percussionist for the Singapore Symphony Orchestra.
How's it going?
All right, well, over the past few weeks, we've been asking students to send in questions that we'd like to ask our musicians. So we've picked 3 that we're going to ask John here, and hopefully he'll demonstrate a couple of techniques for us as well. So the first question, John, is actually from Annabelle. So Annabelle would like to know, what exercise would you recommend to improve rolling such that your hands don't get tired easily?
If we're talking about avoiding getting tired, I think it's a good thing to liken this to physical conditioning, okay? So, and this from a fat angmo like me, but as far as conditioning goes, you know, you start slowly, you make sure that everything you're doing is proper technique, you don't push too far, you push to exhaustion but not to pain. I think it's a matter of likening it to a sport. So, for instance, what we can do is take the metronome, a common tool that we have, and it'll tick, 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 right? And we can say, let's roll for 4 clicks at a certain tempo. So, tick, 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 tick. Okay? Now, that takes a lifetime maybe, or however.
I was just going to ask because you made it look so effortless.
I've built up my technique so that I can do those 4 beats at those 4 even clicks. Okay. What can I do then? I can make a definite plan that by the end of this practice session, it's going to be 6 clicks worth. Okay. So then it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, etc. Okay. And what you may find is, let's say my goal is up to 9, but by the time I'm up to beat 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, something's happening.
Yeah, like your body is tensing up and everything, right?
There you go. So that's that breaking point. So stop. Let's see what the tempo is. Let's see how many beats it is. And then let's take a step back. Let's see what's going wrong. Am I pulling a lot with one hand? Then maybe that hand's weaker. So we get into analysis. You find that breaking point. Never, never, never push pain. Pain is a...
You could have an injury, right?
Right. Pain is a bad thing. Fatigue, okay. Muscles, then you give it time to breathe and grow. Pain, no.
We have a second question actually we have a similar one from Maria's actually, kind of about rolls. So, yeah, I know. So Maria would like to know, how do you get smooth timpani rolls? And especially like when you crescendo, when you get louder?
The conditioning aspect is the same, where we can roll for a certain amount of beats at a certain dynamic or volume, 2, 3, 4, 1, and be able to build it up longer and longer. Yeah. There's a big difference, however. Roll speed is super important on the timpani. Check out what happens if I play my roll too slowly. So. What do you hear?
Oh, it just sounds kind of very loud, maybe just, I don't know. It's not...
You're a rhythm too, right?
Yeah,
you hear dagga, 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 dagga. The idea of a roll for us usually is it's textured, but it's not rhythmic. It's arrhythmic.
Yes, I was going to say it sounded a bit like flat. It was just kind of, kind of one note.
And it's a sustain, the equivalent of someone ba, but a singer holding out a note is not hopefully. It would be if I'm singing. But a professional, not that. Now if I go too fast. Now, it may not come through. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't blame you. I'm taken aback by kind of how rough and ugly that is as well. And it's called over-rolling on an instrument. And music is vibration. And more than anything, it's evident in percussion. And if we go too fast on a timpani, on a single drum, then the head can't relax to the point that there's a definite pitch. We want to be able to sing that pitch. And if you sort of hear this ugly, harsh sound, right? I tell my students and my colleagues who join in our section, you don't have to think about that stuff per se, but you use your own ears. Yeah. So any percussion instrument, but especially on timpani, if we're rolling, use your ears. Do I hear rhythm? Then it's too slow. Is it hard? Then it's too fast.
So, and our final question is actually from Simon, who would like to know, how did you manage to master so many different types of percussion instruments, and how long did it take? And if you have a favorite?
Master is a subjective, very relative term, and I will spend a lifetime hoping to get close to mastering one thing, but make sure that you can play snare drum well. Yeah. Make sure you can play timpani well. And make sure you can play keyboards well. Keyboards are like the instruments that look like piano, xylophone, bells. The school bands here probably have glockenspiel and a xylophone, maybe a marimba, that add pitch and often are doubling maybe flute, or maybe they have their own solos. So these three big families, expected to be proficient in. To answer Simon's question about which is my favorite, I guess it's my long-winded way of saying I truly, really don't have a favorite. The most fun thing about percussion is we do anything. We hit anything.
That's true. Yeah.
Man, Jasmine, I've played coconuts. I've played a typewriter concerto with our orchestra here.
Wow.
We play wine glasses that are pitched with different levels of water inside. Not wine. Whatever. And of course, these staple instruments, as you call them.
No, I think kids should know that. I think, like, you know, we're in a day and age where perhaps learning, you know, I am good at the snare drum is not enough, but you really need to learn everything. And everything helps everything else, you know, like what you mentioned about the xylophone and the drums, you know. So I think you have kind of answered this question, you know. Just maybe not in the way that he expected.
Right.
Yeah.
So Simon, study the coconuts.
All right, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed this video, 3 questions with an SSO musician. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please stay tuned to the SSO's Facebook and YouTube page for more content. Bye.
See ya.